Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to my little room where I lovingly make oils, incense and work with crystals on a daily basis. Today we're going to talk about my 11 beautiful oils, and as you can see at either side of me I have my awakening oil here that I just thought I'd put on the table, and this beautiful energy oil, and just smelling that is incredible. This is the healing oil, one of my first oils that I ever created. As you can see as well, inside the oils are a number of crystals, probably 300 crystals, and maybe about, I don't know, 30 crystals in here. The crystals work on an energetic level as well, so each crystal has its own frequency, vibration, kind of wave that it's constantly working in the oil. Plus the fact that I work with the crystals before they go in, so they've also got a memory in there as well, specifically to awakening, which I focused on the crystal to try and help awaken you. So that's in the memory of the oil. Makes sense to those who understand it. Everything is energy, so if you understand that, then you can place energy into crystals, which is a memory, and that positive memory will stay there. This is my first oil that I ever created. This is the healing oil, and the healing oil was a kind of creation out of pure coincidence. And I just saw it on top of a table of a lady's house, and it was a small bottle of oil. There was many flowers inside that oil, and next to the oil there were tarot cards, and I could see some of the oil had been rubbed on to some of the cards, and there was crystals and other things on there. And I said, wow, what's that? And she said, it's my spells. I said, oh, are you a witch? She said, well, you could say that. More like a Wiccan, and she was a high priestess. Anyway, I was really interested in the oil, and I said, the oil's fascinating, can I try some? And I tried some, and it felt really, really powerful. And I said, oh, I'd love some of your oil. And she said, yeah. So she poured some out, and I took it to my healing room, and thus began my journey with oils. Her oil was well over 30 years old, and I said, how can you have an oil for 30 years when they only last for a year or two? And then the oil goes rancid. She says, not if you replenish it all the time. And I said, so what you're saying is that you've kept the same kind of jar with the same oil, and it's always half full, which means it's been with you for, yes, exactly. I went, that makes sense. So the memory's still in there. So in theory, all my oils have come from that one jar into this jar, and then all the other jars that I work on, as you can see, you can't see them behind me, but they're here and they're in the other room. All 11 jars have all of the healing energy in them, all of the memory of that one jar, and all the work that I've done over these 2 decades. So when I'm doing healing sessions, or when I did healing sessions in here, there was always that beautiful energy that came through into everything in the room, because energy does sit and enter onto and into everything. So it's wonderful. The one thing I would like to say about my oils and my crystals is that negative energy does not have any impact at all towards oils and crystals. Positive energy, however, does. It holds. It's a memory. It's almost like, yeah, come inside me, you're beautiful. Negative energy, it just dispels that. So here we go. Here are my oils. Starting from this side here is the original healing oil here, which is around 20 years old. This oil is incredible for healing both mind, body and spirit. For me, this oil was my first oil, and it was used on every client to begin with. It was an incredible oil. The oils that are in here, which I mix, are often changed depending on how I feel the universe, how people are, what's happening in the world. So my oils can and do often smell slightly different depending on how I'm feeling and what I feel I want to put into this oil with regards to one thing or another when it comes to natural organic plants and flowers. So healing oil is something that I would always recommend, and I would recommend that on all levels of my oils, is that you should always intuitively feel where you would like to rub that oil. For instance, if you've got a headache, you may not want to rub it at the bottom of your feet. Then again, you may, because at the bottom of the feet there might be some beautiful connection to the mind that heals and clears that away. You might feel like you want to rub it on your temples or your third eye. You might feel you want to rub it on the back of your neck. I always say the only person who really knows you is yourself. So follow that intuition when you work with these oils, okay? So as a healer, this is the number one. As a practitioner, this is number one. We all have this. All the practitioners in the Pure Energy Healing Academy who have become practitioners always have the healing. It's absolutely vital for your balance. It's fantastic, mind, body and spirit in so many ways. Number two came when I kind of felt that people needed abundance in their life, and abundance says it all. Abundance of love, happiness, joy, not necessarily wealth per se, but abundance in so many other ways. But many people have claimed that this has been very abundant and has helped them find abundance in their life. And some people do claim, many people claim, that their life changed. They met somebody wonderful and now they have a happy life. They don't worry about money. So the abundance is phenomenal. It's a beautiful oil, a beautiful mixture, and it's kind of the same. I sometimes just mix it a little bit with something else every now and again, but it kind of works really well with ylang ylang. So yeah, the next one came where I was doing some heavy cleansing work on people. They were coming with real trauma, real heavy trauma, abuse, and so on, terrible grief and things like that. And I needed something a little bit stronger. So the next oil came, and surely enough, the most beautiful oil in the world, as far as I'm concerned, to do with cleansing, is Palo Santo. As you would the stick, well, you can actually get Palo Santo in its natural form in oil, and I do. And my oils comes directly from Peru, and they're fantastic. And the person who makes that process is a beautiful soul. So I'm very happy with my Palo Santo. So there are other oils mixing there as well, which kind of like I just feel every now and again need a little bit more, and that goes with the crystals. Sometimes I'll add more crystals in there, and I'll take some crystals out depending on how it feels. So the healing oil as number one comes to healing all the body. It's fantastic. Abundance, again, all over your body you can put it. I normally kind of go upwards. And then the cleansing oil for me is normally the back, your back, where a lot of negativity sits, heart, again your head, and anywhere where you feel you need to cleanse and clear it. Solar plexus is a big one as well. But again, follow your truth, follow your intuition. But yeah, fascinating oil. Next came one of the most powerful oils in all of these oils for a sacred cleanse. A sacred cleanse, meaning that things that are so profound in your life that you need something more powerful. In that sense, I need something stronger, and I created this with sage. Makes sense. Sage, Palo Santo, and frankincense, and these three together are the sacred mix that I love. And this is used often with a lot of the healers. We get hundreds of messages saying how powerful that is. Sorry about all the noise, by the way. Nothing I can do. I can either not do these videos or do them with the noise of next door. This is normally the case whenever I make lives or videos. There's always noise trying to stop me from doing my work, but I'm getting used to it more and more. So yeah, the sacred oil is one which I was fascinated with, and I created it. It took about 3 months, and then all of a sudden I did a healing session on somebody who was very poorly at that time. They'd been beaten. They came into this room, I gave a healing session, they left. I felt a residue of that energy touch the back of me, and it felt really bad. and I thought, okay, this is the time to see if this oil really works. I rubbed it onto my back, the sacred oil, and the energy, that negative energy, ran across the other side of my back. That just blew me away. It opened my eyes to something I'd never seen before. Energy can run around your body, and it can. So I followed it around with the oil, and then within a few minutes it was gone. And that's when I realized that sacred oil is one of the most powerful oils in the world. Then came Moldavite oil. It had to. Moldavite oil for me, there was only one real oil that I wanted to put in there, and that was the cleansing oil, because purification, purifying, venting, cleansing, clearing of all of what needs to be cleansed and cleared and purged, and the Moldavite flush, all of this means that we're clearing. So it had to be Palo Santo on its own. Palo Santo is the major factor in Moldavite oil. However, we do have Moldavites inside there. We do 2 oils. That's not included in here because it's too much money, unfortunately. But this one has come out, this oil's come out of the Moldavite oil with basically hundreds of Moldavites inside the oil. That's through there. So we do a separate oil on a side note, which is the Moldavite oil with a Moldavite slice, a chip inside. What's the difference? Not much, to be honest, but some people like to have a piece of Moldavite in it. Whereas my Moldavite oil is years old now, and it sits with Moldavites, and I'm always throwing fresh Moldavites in there all the time. The Moldavite oil for me is more of cleansing away deep trauma and awakening certain parts of the physical and spiritual to be able to feel and connect higher than you've ever felt before, meaning that your vibration is vibrating at full, perfect energetic frequency. There's no trauma, there's no blocks, there's no issues. Moldavite oil opens you up to that. It's phenomenal. So that's one of our best sellers as well. Moldavite oil, people absolutely love it, and it works so well. It works on so many levels. So after the Moldavite oil came the awakening oil. That was kind of like for people who wanted to start their awakening. Nothing too heavy, just enough to awaken them up. The feeling that I got when I channeled that was I saw the Buddha's head, and the Buddha's head, which is right here on my arm, looks like a cone, a pine cone. And then it all of a sudden come to me. The pine cone is definitely what we need to put inside there. So we put pure organic 100% pine. So the pine oil is in there mixed with a carrier oil, and it's perfect. Obviously all the other oils are inside there as well, but you imagine this energy that when rubbed on your third eye, temples, on your crown, it really does help you awaken, and it's fabulous. Fabulous oil. I love it to bits. Golden Heart was a kind of something that happened afterwards. We did a heart healing oil to heal pain and suffering of a broken heart. That really worked well, but then I felt I wanted to strengthen the heart rather than focus on pain of somebody. And so then we created the Golden Heart. The Golden Heart is incredible. All you need to do is rub it on your heart however many times you want if you're going through any kind of pain of the heart, and it works wonderful. Yasmin is the oil that I chose because I felt it smelled the most powerful for the heart and for what we're trying to clear and strengthen more than anything. So it's more of a strengthener. So it strengthens your heart. So no matter what pain you have in your heart, it will strengthen the heart. And it's been a very popular oil since we brought it out. Lots of sales, lots of amazing messages saying I feel so much stronger, and they're able to get on with their life, which is amazing. The next oil is purifying oil. Purifying oil kind of came to me with the idea of people being sick and not well, and eating poisons, as supermarkets and all the shelves of corporations just sell poisons which are the worst kind of poison you can put into your body, which obviously causes cancer. I'm going to talk about that tonight, by the way. I'm doing a live tonight. So purifying the body of all poisons was something that was really important. So I created an oil and used certain mixtures that I channeled and thus far it's been incredible. It's used predominantly with teas, so that means that you're clearing your body of the poisons as well as natural parasites. So this works hand in hand, and I'll come on to that in a second with the golden relief. We found something out this morning which totally makes sense. So this is a very powerful oil. It has clove, it has lime, it has beautiful orange, and a few others which really captivate the energy of cleansing and clearing in its highest form of purification. It also has grapefruit. So these things are wonderful for a purification. They were all channeled. So again, another fantastic popular oil, and people love it and use it often. Energizing. A lot of people were feeling down, depressed, feeling like they'd no energy. So it made sense to make energizing oil, which I did. The energizing oil has lots of different oils in there, including lime and lemon and others, which lift you up, vitalize you, revitalize you, and clear away the negativity and negative thoughts from you. So a lot of people like to use it on their heart, they like to use it on their solar plexus, they like to use it on their temples and the third eye. Back of the neck is often used, and so on. So it's a beautiful oil, really is a beautiful oil. I love to breathe it in as much as I can. The 10th oil became an oil where people said, I can't afford all your oils, and I said, that's really interesting, never heard that before. And because of the nonsense that's gone on these 3 years, a lot of people lost their business and everything, they lost everything. And I thought, how can I create an oil that, you know, how can I price it so that everybody can afford all the oils? And then all of a sudden it says, silly, put all the oils together. And that's exactly what I did. So today, all the oils are in there except this one thus far, okay? And I'm going to explain why in a minute. So mystical oil is all the oils together, one ring to rule them all, one oil to rule them all. So the mystical oil has everything in there, so you can use that anywhere on your body. Okay, sounds great, doesn't it? I think it was the best move we ever made. We sold more mystical oils in 1 week than we did any of the others, apart from this one, which was just released a week ago. This oil has been, this is selling so fast that I'm struggling to keep up with it. It's called Golden Relief. It's called Golden Relief because there is gold 24 karat flakes, genuine flakes in there, not like the China 24 karat flakes, which there's no gold in there at all. This is the real McCoy of gold inside here. So there is a mixture of wonderful oils in here, and the blend can be found on the website. Somebody asked me this morning, why didn't you just make your own blend with those particular ingredients which are on Don Tolman's website? I said 2 reasons. One, I have this energy inside me that do unto others what you wouldn't do unto yourself, and integrity is part of my life. And I want to sleep on a night. Why would I want to steal anybody's work? There's 2 answers to that, really. The first answer is whenever you steal somebody's work, it never works. Secondly, I feel that when you support somebody and you support something which is of ancient wisdom, then you're holding that wisdom. You're keeping that wisdom where it's meant to be. Therefore, yes, I could easily mix all of those oils together, but I'm not going to get the ancient mix. It's not going to be the same. And I do know this as a fact, that somebody did try to do it, and it never even worked. So it's important that you keep up to this kind of ancient wisdom, which I wholeheartedly believe that it's been sabotaged and it's lost. So I want to bring it back again, and I want to continue the work of Don Tolman. So this is the only oil that I've ever, my only product that I've ever bought, that I ever sell of somebody else's. Now, I've actually worked with it by hand. So when we agreed, Don and myself agreed that I would sell it in Europe. Well, I sell it all over the world, but mainly for the Europeans because it's so difficult to buy Don Tolman's oil in America and get it shipped to Europe. It's practically impossible with customs, who are complete and utter mobsters. So Yeah, and I've actually sold it to America and Australia as well. So people have been kind enough, but I've always said, try and support Don Tolman. Make sure you get his genuine website, not the websites of people who stole his work. So I actually have spent the whole week cleansing this room, working in this room with high energy, cleansing myself, and honouring the ancient mixture by meditating before I start, then making the mixture down to its teaspoon and drop. So everything is so accurate. And I'm absolutely proud of it because I also put pure energy healing into it. So it's an added love, healing, and also I worked on twofold with this particular oil, and I think I will do for a long time. Just seeing somebody drop down, a 30-year-old boy drop down holding a dog flat on his face after all his jabs just 5 minutes ago, and people are dropping like flies. So that's on a side note. We need to help people in these situations. So the two energies that I work on when I hold that bottle is heal away the cancer, heal away any issue in the heart, any myocarditis, or clear all that away. So I basically focus on a healthy heart and a healthy body to clear away cancer. That's what I put into this oil. All the other oils have a unique energy of like healing the whole body. Abundance, seeing the person happy, strong, well, and having abundance of food and everything that they need in their life. Cleansing, clearing heavy, negative, dark entity energy out of their body, out of their life. That's what I focus on. This focus on sacred oil is to bring people up to a most beautiful balance of divine light. That's what I work on when I hold these. This one is awakening, so when I close my eyes, I help people awaken from the lies and manipulations and the programming of this world. So I see people as I hold this jar becoming aware of life, becoming aware of their senses, and growing in a spiritual and connected way to the spirit world and their consciousness. Golden heart. Basically, I fully focus on the heart and see it strong, putting good energy into the heart, so when they rub it on, the heart becomes stronger, and then the energy of connection between the heart and the consciousness grows. That's how I put the energy into that one. Purification is basically to clear their body of toxins, all toxins. That's the energy that I put into that pure energy. Energizing, believe it or not, this is gonna sound silly to you, but when I hold the energizing oil, I see that person skipping. When I see somebody skipping as a child, if I see a child skipping, the first thing I think is, well, they're only skipping because there's no heavy weight in them. If you see a child walking slowly with their head down and their shoulders like this, you know that they've got the world on their shoulders. So when I focus on that oil, I see them skipping. So that energy to help them lift and clear is the energy that I put into the energizing. Mystical is all of the above, so I focus on all of those energies at once. And the golden relief, I've just explained the two things, which is definitely the heart. I want to see that strong and healthy and beating correctly with a nice connection to the consciousness, and clearing the body of all of those poisons that have been forced into us, into everybody else, not me, those poor people. And also it's going to help clear you in so many ways. I'd just like to point out that this oil has become so incredible that we're already receiving messages this morning, as we do all the oils, but this is really fantastic. So yesterday a lady, I gifted a bottle to a lady, Kirsten. She rubbed some on the side of her face because she had a lump there. She sent me a message last night, it's gone, the lump's gone. Also a lady who struggles with just picking at food all the time, can't stop. She rubbed some on the bottom of her lip, and she said that for the rest of the day, she just didn't feel like she wanted to eat anything, like that had gone. And I kind of thought about that, and I thought, could it be? Because normally when you're needing food, it's because you've got parasites, and your parasites, basically you're a host to parasites, and parasites are in your brain telling you what that you need to eat. So they force you to eat more and more because they need to eat. So when she rubbed it there, it must have caused the parasites shock and they must have ran off and not said, look, we'll talk about food later, this is heavy stuff. So maybe, just maybe, it's a good idea to use the Golden Relief not only on the body when you've got bites, swelling, bruises, breaks, and so many other things, cancer. Rub on them places where the issue is, but also, hey, cup it, breathe it in every 2 hours, and just let me know. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I rubbed it on my back, I rubbed it on my stomach, and I rubbed it on my crown, rubbed it on my temples, rubbed it on the back of my neck. I tell you guys, when I was working on it, I felt amazing. So all of these oils are together. Yeah, they're not cheap because they're all organic. So I'm not going to lie to you, they're not cheap. You can go to your local store and buy cheap products, no problem. I guarantee my products being 100% organic, all of them. And it's not really about the money per se, it's about how you treat them. So you can get somebody who just bottles it up and then throws it in a bag and sends it to you. Everything that you get from here is pure energy. This place is called the Pure Energy Healing Academy. I am the founder of Pure Energy Healing, and I've been working on crystals, oils and incense for 2 decades. The website, markbajerski.com, is one of the most popular websites in the world, with returning clients of over 82% on a general basis. 82% returning clients. Ask anybody else if they ever get that kind of amazing business, because it is business when all said and done. But when people return and buy, it tells you everything. How many times do I advertise a year? Never. The only place I talk about my crystals is on my apps and on here. So I don't physically pay for advertising, which means that the products work. They speak for themselves, and I hope you appreciate them. And if anybody has ever bought the oils, I would fully, with my hand on my heart, ask, please, just give a few words to people who have come to this website now, this channel now, and like scroll down and see what people have, how they've benefited from these oils, because they are beautiful. So the oils as a full set now work out at 350, 340, something like that. Today, with all these oils, including the brand new Don Tolman Golden Relief, these oils are going to be available on a special offer, but only for a limited number. We've selected a limited number of 11s and put them to one side, so I can't guarantee that they're going to be there for long. I can just say that we've done a limited offer, okay?